Mike, check. Justin Hunt. It's all happening. Thank you to everybody rocking with the channel. Thank you to everybody subscribed through the channel who shared the video, shared the link. It's priceless. Big thank you to everyone who's donated. If you'd like to donate, you hit the Cash App that's right up there, or you hit the link in the description. Thank you guys so much for all the support. That's really the best way to support this channel. If you rock with what we're doing over here, you like what we're doing, feel free to be a member. Big shout out to NanLib. Got on my Year of Truth shirt, currently available in the shop. 1 second applause to NanLib. Now, I love this conversation so much. You guys, anybody who's been watching this channel knows how big of a Lupe Fiasco fan I am when it comes to his music. And anyone who's ever been watching this channel knows how much of a fan of Kendrick Lamar I am when it comes to his music. And Ray Daniels, big shout out to Ray Daniels, 1 second applause. Longtime music industry executive, veteran. He had on probably one of the most brilliant minds when it comes to lyricism on his platform, on his podcast, Mickey Facts, the one and only Mickey Facts. 1 second applause. Mickey Facts legitimately has teaches lyricism as well. And so these two worlds collided in what I thought was a really great debate, because it also included my other favorite rapper, Andre3000. Andre3000's in this conversation too. 1 second applause again. So this is my all-time favorite debates. All-time favorite debates. One, I love debating MCs. I love debating lyricism. I am someone who loves competition in hip hop. I love MCs who approach hip hop competitively. I love the fact that, these type of barbershop discussions are ubiquitous and never seem to end, and there's always a new generation jumping in to enjoy them. And so I hope you're going to enjoy this conversation as much as I am, because I saw this last night and I was like, oh yes, this is great. I think there's great points made all around on this. So let's take a look at this and pay very close attention to the details and to the phrasing that Mickey Facts uses, okay? Because that's going to be very important. So before anybody gets caught into their own silos, really take a look at where this debate goes.
Incredible lyricist and incredible MC. But I got Lupe ranked higher from a pen standpoint.
All right, so what he just said there was, he says, it sounded like he said, he thinks both of them are incredible lyricists and incredible MCs, but he has Lupe ranked higher. All right, so let's get into this.
Incredible lyricist and incredible MC. But I got Lupe ranked higher from a pen standpoint.
All right, I love Lupe.
Pay attention to that. He says he has Lupe ranked higher from a pen standpoint. From a pen standpoint. He's going to elaborate, but that's going to be key, particularly when we get to the Andre3000 part of this. All right, a pen standpoint.
Voodoo Lick is crazy. What's the second album? Because Superstar was on that.
The Cool
was incredible. I love that album.
He could rap his ass off.
Yes. But at a certain point, I feel like the faucet got turned off.
You're talking.
The faucet got turned off. It feels like at some point the faucet got turned off, right? And, I've done this video. It's called Still Like an Artist. It's on this channel, right? And it looked at Kendrick Lamar and Lupe Fiasco. I did this video in 2016, maybe, something like that, right? And so I'll put a link in the description to that one too. But the faucet got turned off is a real interesting phrasing, because there's so much stuff that Lupe experienced from a label standpoint that's just completely unique. You know what I mean? He's had his label completely stop songs that were moving. They tried to move him over to a 360 deal. He wasn't down with that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of context that has happened that I've covered a lot in various videos on this channel and on Hip Hop DX as well. And so I think that turn the faucet off is probably the perspective most people have who maybe haven't been following Lupe's career or weren't following the music industry at that point in time, or necessarily maybe weren't even old enough to really engage in this aspect of the conversation, right? But you're looking at an artist who has sold over 20 million records and won a Grammy Award. And so for this faucet got turned off standpoint between the Cool and between Lasers was just a lot of music industry BS that Lupe had to deal with. And the reason Lasers came out in the first place is because of a fan protest. Lupe fans got together, protested outside of Atlantic Records for the release of Lasers so they could buy it. One of the craziest inversions of capitalism ever. But that also gives you an idea of the amount of support and the impact that Lupe's music has made throughout his career
Talking about from a standpoint of potentially from a mainstream standpoint, but we talking about from the pen.
Lasers, right?
Yeah, I mean, Lasers was his most popular album. It's not his best album, but it's his most mainstream popular album.
It was his biggest album. But again, he's talking about pen, that part. He went through that really quickly. So a lot of times with these discussions, people get caught up in commercial sales, right? You know, you can't, to measure MF Doom, for example, the greatness of Doom with commercial sales isn't the way to measure Doom. That's just not how you do it. To measure the greatness of Rock Marciano isn't to measure it by sales. That's not how you would measure the greatness of artists like that, for example. And so Mickey, again, is reminding them he's talking about pen. But he's making a great point about Lasers. I mean, Lasers has its critics, without question. But it also was his biggest success, most successful album, particularly at the release. And it's got some of his biggest songs. Show Goes On is on that one, for example.
The most.
He can really rap.
He can out-rap Kendrick. Today.
They not going for that shit.
I don't think it's insane. I don't think it's insane. For the record, I don't think it's insane. I don't think that's insane.
I don't think it's insane either. And we just did this video, Black Thought versus Jay-Z. And Will.i.am said, Black Thought's a trillion times better than Jay-Z. I think that's insane. A trillion is a big number. Trillion is way too big. Now, if you want to say he's 5 times better, 2 times better, 5% better, I'm with it. But a trillion times, that sounds insane to me. Right, so but let's listen to how Mickey breaks this down.
Mainstream popular album. It sold the most.
He can really rap.
He can out-rap Kendrick. Today.
They not going for that shit.
I don't think it's insane. I don't think it's insane. For the record, I don't think it's insane. I don't think that's insane at all. I don't think it's insane. I think y'all stand. So what I'm saying? No. What I'm saying is
double
this.
entendre, triple. What you talking about? Dissect that.
I think Kendrick. No. Listen. We're not. This is the situation. No. Let me speak.
We got 5 more minutes.
No, let me speak.
I want him to speak.
Kendrick has been on a run from an album standpoint, unlike anything we've seen since Kanye and Tupac.
Right, and I'd add Outkast into that. You're right. I mean, now perhaps they're talking about solo artists, solo MCs at this point in time, but what Kendrick has done from an album standpoint, it's up there with Kanye's first 5 albums. It's up there with Outkast, everything up to Idlewild. And to put that in context, this is something we almost never see. You know, you could put Tupac in there as well. I think what's interesting with Pac's catalog is that it spans 2 different sonic eras. Like you could hear the change in production, the modernization of production throughout his catalog. I'm not saying this as a slight, and I'm saying it as something that makes Pac's catalog even greater too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, he even had the changing sonics and his projects still hold up to this day. So it's a very thin slice of people we're talking about. Very thin slice of people we're talking about when we're talking about albums. Okay. Mickey Fax is talking about pen.
Right?
Yes,
like he has an incredible catalog from a song perspective.
Okay.
And nobody can deny that. That's why he's ranked as high as he's ranked
for sure.
In terms of Biggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and all of these legends.
Okay.
But from a pen standpoint, we're talking about just writing raps, like just writing raps and actually rapping. No, I got Lupe over him. Every day of the week. Every day of the week. Every day of the week.
So how high is Lupe then? Because that's upper echelon.
Oh yeah, no.
Lupe's in that J Nas big.
In terms of pen,
that's what I'm asking.
We're not talking about song.
No pen, just
but
pen.
The pen makes the songs.
No. He writes songs. He writes freestyles. All of that.
Okay.
I'm talking about in terms of just lyrically. It's Lupe. He's that guy.
Okay.
And Kendrick would even admit that it's Lupe.
Clip that shit up. I need to clip it.
Clip that shit. 1 second applause. I mean, I don't know, I don't like to speak for other people. Who knows who would admit what at what point in time. But I think it's very clear the reverence that so many people in hip hop have for Lupe's pen. And it's undeniable. I mean, Lupe has a Grammy Award for a song about a project building that turns into a robot. That's a very complicated idea that he made palatable enough to be a Billboard success and a Grammy-winning song. That's incredible penmanship. I mean, we talk about songs like Mural, for example, which is a 9-minute masterclass on lyricism, right? I mean, it's from a lyrical standpoint, it is up there with possibly the best lyrical exhibitions in history, right? I don't think any of these things are controversial by any means. And if you also take certain things that certain risks that Lupe has taken when it comes to the type of songs that he puts out, you know what I mean? Like Lupe will do a whole song that's about archaeologists, you know, digging into, going on an excavation and uncovering the White House. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's that type of imagination that Lupe's always exhibited in his music. The I would say bravery of leading into certain levels of complexity, like songs like Dumb It Down, for example, actually getting a major label push. Now, whether or not Kendrick can't do these things, that's not the conversation. The question is, the conversation is, we don't necessarily see Kendrick take those type of lyrical risks or showing that level of lyricism or that level of complexity in his rhymes. Now, I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm saying we haven't necessarily seen it through the music that he's released. And that's not a knock to him. Again, this is talking about pen, like the things that Lupe can do with his pen, otherworldly.
Rashad, I'm like, nigga.
And then when you look at the comments,
Okay, I'm gonna just.
they're gonna agree with
I'm
me.
gonna say something.
We're going to take a look at the comments. The comments are really interesting.
Because I think I manage songwriters, I made records. I really believe that Jay-Z has the most elite pen in hip hop history.
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
I think that right after him, you can flip between Nas and Kendrick. Like I think he's that great as a rapper.
I would have Nas underneath Jay. Ayo.
I think Nas is the best lyricist of all.
I'm not mad at that either. I think Nas and Jay flip flop.
Jay's the best writer as far as making the hit records, as far as how he's.
But Nas is the best lyricist.
That's the conversation that we had with the Black Thought. That's what I said at the end. I think as a songwriter, you can't take any. Hov is one of the greatest ever, if not the greatest ever, songwriter in hip hop history.
Nas would be the best lyricist because Lupe tries to be like Nas.
Yeah, on some bar for bar shit.
I'm not disagreeing.
That's interesting. Lupe tries to be like Nas. You know what's so funny about Food and Liquor? To me, Food and Liquor, like Lupe always felt like the intersection between Hov and Nas. You know, if you take, you know, some of the approaches he would take stylistically, some of the approaches he would take contextually had a lot of Hov in them, also had a lot of Nas. And I think the third person storytelling is so at the front of Lupe's catalog, particularly in those earlier projects, and it continues to this day. I mean, songs like Miss Mural is ridiculous. 1 second applause to Miss Mural. I just saw a fantastic fan-made video for that the other day. So 1 second applause for the fan that made that. But that's something Nas did quite a bit too. Third person storytelling. And that's not a place where we see Hov go that often. But I also think that when it comes to, you know, from a flow standpoint, a lot of the flows Jay-Z has, you know, we don't necessarily see Nas doing the same way. And Lupe is in both those boxes. He hits both those boxes really well. So I feel like he's right there in the middle. And then when he said that too, it always reminds me of that song, Hurt Me Soul from Food and Liquor. I had a ghetto boy bop a Jay-Z boycott because he said that he never prayed to God, he prayed to Gotti. I'm thinking, golly, God guard me from the ungodly. But by my 30th watching, the streets is watching, I was back to giving props again, and that was bothering. About as uncomfortable as an untouchable touching you. Theme songs that niggas hustle to seem wrong, but it's all becoming, these songs, I'm messing it up, but you get what I'm saying, right? So you can see the affinity for both of them in Lupe's catalog.
Disagreeing with any of those points.
I just want to go, nigga. I need you to give me. I'm dead serious. I want to listen to this shit.
On who?
Spotify playlist on
Of who?
Of Cole and Lupe.
I got you. Listen,
and I'm gonna give you.
I'm talking just lyrically. I'm not talking about the song and how it makes you feel and how you vibe to it and how you. I'm talking about from a cerebral standpoint. It's not even close.
Nigga say cerebral. I love
From a cerebral standpoint. standpoint. That's another thing. But again, he's talking about pen.
I didn't go to college. I don't know what that means, nigga. You want to, but I love it though. I respect it, Mickey. I just like, nigga, you
Pendulum ink. I'm telling you. That's what it is, nigga.
Ray, you went this whole time without mentioning 3 stacks. So we appreciate that.
Okay, here we
Well,
go.
the reason why I didn't is because we ain't talking about groups.
Okay.
But if we all talking about groups,
pen.
So now we're going to 3 stacks. So, okay, so before we get to 3 stacks, because this is where, again, pay attention to how many times Mickey Fax was talking about pen, right? But again, so that's where Mickey Fax is coming from. We're going to take a look at the comments at the end of this video to see what people are saying, because it's really interesting here. But, you know, when I see Lupe and I see Kendrick, I see 2 extremely high-level MCs, all from the same tree. Like, I think all of them are coming from the Nas tree, the Jay-Z tree, the Eminem tree, the era where you could be a supreme lyricist, the Biggie tree, you know, with a lot of Pac sensibilities, where you can be a supreme lyricist and also be extremely commercially successful. I'm not sure as an era, we're in that at all right now. Perhaps since the vibes are shifting, we'll see some of that going forward. But from an industry standpoint, I don't even think we're seeing labels take a lot of risk with artists like that in the first place. And so that's one of the reasons why I think this conversation is really interesting, right? Because you have these 2 artists who are clearly from the elite MCing, the tree of elite MCing, in all facets of it, whether you're talking about wordplay, whether you're talking about flows, whether you're talking about, deep thoughts. I mean, what Kendrick did with Reincarnated off GNX, I mean, that's a song that will be studied. I know there's a class in Temple. I'm sure they're going to focus on that song. And also just 2 incredible storytellers in their own right. I think Lupe has a lot more focus on entendres, similes, metaphors, lyrical devices that are within his storytelling. I think you see a lot more of that in Lupe's storytelling than you do in Kendrick's storytelling. I'm not saying it's not existent in Kendrick's storytelling, but Lupe will get real simple and still have, a quadruple entendre at the same time. And that, I believe, since I don't think Mickey necessarily contextualized this in this clip, that to me is what I see as the difference between the 2. Lupe is the judo master of juxtaposition, and he will, you could take a Lupe bar and throughout the history of his catalog and interpret them 3 to 4 different ways. And I think that's where Mickey Fax is coming from what I'm hearing. Now listen to how Mickey talks about Andre3000 here.
Now.
I think
He don't got a solo song with a chorus and 2 verses rapping.
He don't have a solo song with a chorus and 2 verses rapping. I'm gonna run that back.
You want to, but I love it though. I respect it, Mickey. I just like, nigga, you
Pendulum ink. I'm telling you. That's what it is, nigga.
Ray, you went this whole time without mentioning 3 stacks. So we appreciate that.
Okay, here we
Well,
go.
the reason why I didn't is because we ain't talking about groups.
Okay.
But if we all talking about
talking about
groups,
pens now.
we talking, I think
He don't got a solo song with a chorus and 2 verses rapping.
We talking about pens. I think Andre's pen is better than Kendrick's. I think he's only second to Dre. I mean,
Now, shout out to Ray Daniels. If we're talking about pens, we're talking about pens. What's the first thing Mickey Fax said? He doesn't have a solo song with 2 verses and a chorus rapping. I don't take that to be. I don't take that to mean. I don't take that to have as much weight in a conversation about pens. I don't. I think that works better in a conversation about songs. Who's got more songs? But let's see where Mickey goes.
to Jay. I think he's better than Nas. I think he's better than everybody.
This is where I stop.
Lyrically, Andre3000 is better than all of them.
I can't.
Except for Jay-Z. That's the only person
I don't know.
that I would say.
I don't know.
I did my top 5 on this channel. You guys see the top 3 I had on mine. You guys see my top 3 or my top 5. All 3 of these guys in the top 5 video that I did. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. I had Andre, Lupe, Kendrick. 1, 2, and 3. Made this in 2016. Okay. Watch Mickey. Mickey looks like he's pivoting away from the pen argument that he was using when the comparison was Kendrick and Lupe. Take a listen.
I don't rap better than.
Can you answer that though?
I don't know
He
why.
said give him the song
I
with
can't.
solo
So
song,
to Rashad's point, when he brings up Cole, when he brings up Cole,
that nigga said outcast with a K. Niggas is hard.
When he brings up Cole,
harder than a nigga trying to impress God.
Excuse me. When he brings up Cole,
That's such a crazy bar. Harder than a nigga trying to impress God. 1 second applause.
and Cole's feature run. I believe that Cole took the blueprint of Andre3000's feature run and did that for himself.
I agree too.
I think Kendrick's in the middle of a feature run right now, too. Shout out to my conversation with Curtis King this time last year. I pointed that out. I was like, Kendrick needs a feature run. Everyone thought I was crazy. I think we're getting it right now. 1 second applause.
Because he got a party right after he did, yeah.
But there is no solo Andre3000 album. There is no solo Andre3000 song where he has a chorus and 2 rap verses by himself.
He has now moved the goalposts. When he's talking about Andre3000, now he's talking about songs. He is dismissing the quality of the pen because there isn't a solo Andre song with a verse and 2 choruses. Now, maybe he explains this deeper. Let's see what it is. To me, that feels like the goalpost has moved a bit. The conversation, the emphasis now is, where are the Andre3000 songs? Where's the Andre3000 album? The conversation started with simply pen. Simply pen.
I cannot say I cannot say that he can do this because he hasn't done it. It has not happened. We do not have something that we can say, this is the song that says he can do this. And he came up in the era.
Song again.
Where rappers were doing it 3 times on a song. He was doing it in an era where rappers every time out. I know we gotta close it, and I love 3000, like everybody loves 3000.
Right, come here.
But there is not. You can't compare him to Biggie when Biggie has songs and albums with 3 verses every single time. There is not one song.
So now it's songs, okay? Not impact, not the transcendent nature of the verses, not respect or inclusion to the level of conversation he can have while he's even singing. Not the feature run. Now it's songs, right? Not pen. Now it's songs. The goalpost has shifted.
Wait, you said, hold on, I'm not done. Brian, I'm not done. Let me finish.
We caught in the middle of this shit now.
I believe that 3000 is one of the greatest writers ever that we've ever experienced. But there is not one song.
That's a little known fact. I didn't know that.
He cannot. He don't even.
As you said, I'm thinking about the left below, and I'm trying to think.
He don't got more verses than Biggie. Biggie was alive for 3
2 things when you do that.
years.
You invalidate your Lupe thing because Lupe didn't do it consistent.
Right. He invalidated the Lupe thing because he moved the goalposts away from pen. Right. Regardless of his opinion on Lupe and Kendrick, I take that as his opinion. But when it comes to 3 Stacks, he's not talking about pen. He's talking about productivity now. He's talking about volume now. He's talking about songs now and the non-existent song with 3 verses and a hook and a non-existent album. That is moving the goalposts.
But he did.
Yes, he did.
He got a rap album.
He has rap albums.
He got a rap album.
He has solo rap albums.
He got solo rap.
Discredit.
Now we're talking about albums. I thought this was a fascinating discussion. Let me know what you guys think about this. These are my 3 favorite, literally my 3 favorite rappers. Literally my 3 favorite rappers right here. And it's awesome to see them converge in this discussion. Now let's take a look at the comments that are around this. All right, here's the comments right here. First comment, Lupe is the reason rap genius exists, right? That's true. 1 second applause. All right, here's the next one. He is right. Lupe is one of the best lyricists of our time, if not the best. All right. That's a shout out to Tati with that one. Here's Izzy. Lupe has the greatest pen. He makes amazing music, sold millions of records, stood up to Obama and lost his Ferrari and many other deals. Atlantic also stole a lot from him. Kendrick had a much better career because of variables he was able to control. That is reality. I think they both definitely had very different career circumstances. I've talked about that ad nauseum here. But when it comes from a pen standpoint, that's what Izzy had to say. Here's a vessel. Best lyricist doesn't equal best rapper. And with that said, Lupe is probably the best lyricist ever with technical skill. That doesn't always translate into song making, which is a part of the best criteria. No problem with what is being said, Mickey Facts. Right. And so that's a great point too, right? If there's a best overall, you want to include songs. I mean, I think there has to be a mass awareness conversation when you're making certain types of rankings. If you're going to do the best to ever do it, you need to include all categories. And I think that what Kendrick has proven in all categories, you know what I mean? You know, if you look at this on the slider scale, an NBA 2K slider scale, you know, if Kendrick is if Kendrick is an 8 or 9 lyrically, and he's definitely a 10 on catalog. You know, if Lupe is a 10 lyrically, you know, he is definitely a 9 or an 8 or on catalog, or however you want to look at it. But that is a great point, right? So that's what A Vessel had to say. Jonathan Cloud, people are doing the Kendrick and Lupe thing again. If you think Kendrick is a better rapper than Lupe, just be quiet, man. Better artist, but better writer, stop it. So most of this right here that we're seeing so far adds up to what Mickey Facts was saying. People thought he was insane in the audience during this podcast. But when you get online and you see the reaction to this video, there's a lot of people who are siding with Mickey when it comes to this as well. Shout out to Frosted Takes, my man Frosted Takes. He says, Mickey Facts not lying. Pen-wise, Lupe is unmatched. I don't even think Kendrick believes he's better bar for bar than Lupe. He studies this like a mad scientist. That's funny. This is Kawagi. Lupe Fiasco is better than everyone, by the way. He's an alien. LMAO. We'll do one more right here. Here's Trav. I personally don't think anyone can lyrically out-rap Lupe Fiasco, but that's just me. Maybe Nas, but other than that, nah. With that being said, the Kendrick and Lupe discourse is very 2010s. We get it, man. It's over with. Lou walked so Dot could fly. Yeah, 1 second applause. So, I love this conversation. These are my 3 favorite rappers. What do you guys think about this? Who do you think is the best of the 3? Andre, Lupe, and Kendrick. And again, Mickey Facts is talking about pen. At least when it comes to Lupe and Kendrick, he's talking about pen. Now, when you talk about Andre, he's talking about albums and volume. But I love this story. Big shout out to everybody. Big shout out to Mickey Facts and Ray Daniels. 1 second applause. My name is Justin Hunt. Like, subscribe to the channel. Follow at The Company Man on everything, including The Company Man podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, it's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping in. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip-hop, from trip-hop to yes, dog, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.